Okay, so hello, this is David's quick strand level synthesis plan based off of a quick diagram Rachel Ball and I wrote up. This is by no means specific. It's actually me trying to process MSP or whatever it means to us. So I need feedback on this, really. So accordingly, here's the synthesis plan. It's kind of in a layer cake format based on what we drew up. And more importantly, it has people assigned to each one of the layers, which I think is what's made sense for me. So this is also based off of a diagram that Craig, I believe, did, or a paper that Craig and several of the project directors worked on. So on the first layer, we have the bucket. So this is all the artifacts for the collections for the Strand, which includes things like the project plan, the progress posts, the budgets, the final progress post, which I mentioned. Those are primary ones, and then we've got secondary ones like my notebook and wiki on the projects, stuff from the interviews that I've done with each one of the projects, the Dev CSI events and the items produced from that, which go into the IE blog, and then obviously the final software catalog we were talking about, and then also other lessons learned. So from there, it moves up into the next layer. And what's significant about moving into this next layer, which is the synthesis layer, is, of course, you have a person assigned for actually escalating all of this content up to there. Of course, the person is the program manager, the Strand level program manager being myself. And being able to take all of that information and be able to get it up into themes by actually actioning it with the next person who actually helps the first person organize that content into something that makes sense to them. It's kind of climbing this kind of height of understanding layer. So organizing it into themes with what are called writers, and this is using the language from Craig's document, or community experts, very much. I believe I spoke to Paul quickly, and we talked about Julian and then the potential web editor coming in, helping to speak with me to synthesize everything into themes. And then, of course, moving from that layer on up, we move into communications. And communications is obviously about taking the themes and being able to identify what are the key products out of those themes that are being realized. And of course, that's these people. So in this case, Julian and web editor working with the journals or bloggers to be able to produce stories about the products, what they are and how they're valuable. And we've already had Michelle and the other journal consultants helping us in that process of making the technical documentation into something more understandable. And of course, moving from the communication into the dissemination layer, which is of course identifying how each one of these products is then delivered to its specific audiences. And of course, what we have then are the editors working with the journals to be able to decide what key stories need to get to the press. How do we select the stories and get them to press? And of course, that's our communications team. The people we've been working with mostly have been Allison, Bex, and Judy. So there's the overall layer cake from obviously bucket synthesis, communication, dissemination, and then the people actually involved who will action these items into process. So that's my idea. Let me know what you think. That's how I'm understanding it so far. Over and out.